We're now getting some shocking visuals coming in from Hyderabad, where a man died while trying to do work of civic authorities. We're just going to put out these visuals on our screens, and then you will see that the man going to the divider trying to cover a big pothole using a traffic barricade which was already falling. While he was doing this, unfortunately, he then got hit by a car, and eventually this man lost his life. Chilling civic apathy, which is now being captured on tape. News coming in from Hyderabad. This was a Good Samaritan crushed while he was doing this work by a car, and what he ended up paying was with his own life. My colleague Swastika is now joining us with more details. Swastika, very unfortunate news coming in from Hyderabad. We're putting out those visuals on our screens as well. Just talk to us about where this happened, what time this happened, and what was the work that this man was trying to do.
Glaring case of civic apathy clearly, and this video has come to light from Chadar Ghat area of Hyderabad. The date of the incident is June 12th. Around evening, what exactly happened was this particular individual, identified as Mohammed Zahid, he works at a hotel there. Now, he saw that there was an open manhole, and there were a lot of people and commuters just walking by. So as a good Samaritan, he just tried to cross over the road and tried to erect a fallen barricade of the local police, which mentioned that there's an open manhole there. So while he was trying to re-erect that barricade, that is the time he was run over and struck by a speeding car. All of that have been captured in that CCTV visuals that have been playing on your screens right now. And this is truly a ghastly case of civic apathy. Local residents there say when they tried to take him to the hospital, he succumbed to his injuries, unfortunately. Local residents say that they did raise issues and complaints with the GHMC, Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, from a long time. But despite crying out to them to fix the pothole and the manhole there, they could not do so. All their pleas fell onto deaf ears, is what the locals are saying. Not just that, we are also understanding this entire video was first shared by MBT leader Amjadullah Khan, who also went on to say that even the deceased himself had raised multiple complaints, considering this is the rainy season. The pothole was almost full, and not just that, there were electrical lines as well. Despite raising multiple complaints, he said no action was taken by the GHMC, and today there is a man who tried to alert the other commuters, losing out his life instead.
So, Swastika, if I understand this correctly, essentially this man was doing what the authorities on the ground should have done, and he ended up paying with his life. That's
right. And that's the big reason that is coming along. And in fact, if you look at the CCTV visuals, it's almost very much clear that this particular individual can be seen walking over to the other side of the road, and he's trying to pull up a fallen barricade. That barricade mentions that there was an open manhole there. And while he was trying to do that, a speeding car runs over him. The car does not stop. The man is left bleeding in the middle of the road. There are good people around him who take him to the hospital, but by then it was already very late. When we questioned the local police as to what exactly happened, they said that the manhole had to be partially kept open because there were electrical works that were going on. And that's the reason why they had erected barricades around. The police says just about 20 minutes before the man died, there was an auto which rammed into these barricades. The barricades obviously toppled and fell in the middle of the road. But there were other locals who did not pull this up. But instead, this particular individual, Zahid, he went across the road, and while he was trying to put the barricades in place, that is the time when a car fatally hits him. And this goes on to show the kind of civic apathy, and this is multiple angles that
Correct.
One can really focus on. Civic apathy, apathy from the locals as well, because the barricades, according to the police, were lying like that from a long time. Nobody comes and puts it back in place. When this individual tries to do it, he had to pay with his life.
Swastika, I'll just request you to stay on with us. We also have lawyer Abha Singh Now joining us on the broadcast. I'm going to have you on the broadcast with us. Such unfortunate news. As I was pointing to my colleague, this was the work that was supposed to be done by authorities, but nothing was done. Multiple complaints had been made. This good man decides to go forward and do it himself and ends up paying with his life. But the bigger problem is that this is a story that we see play out every couple of months in different parts of the country. If it rains too much in Mumbai, you have potholes where people, end up getting sucked into it. In Bengaluru, it's a similar case. What will it take for the authorities to wake up?
You're very right. In fact, if we go by the 2017 figures, 3,600 deaths took place due to potholes, which means that 10 people die every day due to accidents due to potholes. So, of course, it's an everyday affair. I think we are becoming desensitized. For one day, we are worried, but things go on. In fact, if I come to Mumbai, in the last 2 years, more than 15 crores has been officially spent on filling up potholes. And after that, also this tragic incident takes place. An innocent loses his life. I think the ward officer of that area, the contractor who was responsible for that road, they should be booked for culpable homicide not amounting to murder, and they should be arrested. Till the time we don't take strong action against these people, innocent lives will be lost on an average 10 every day.
Ma'am, I'll just request you to stay on with us. I quickly want another clarification from my colleague Swastika also. Swastika, since you were pointing out that this case actually took place in the month of June, from then to now, has enough action been taken to at least scan other areas of the city and ensure that this tragedy doesn't happen again?
Ritika, the incident happened on July 12th, yesterday, last evening.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I thought it happened a couple of days ago. Okay, please go ahead.
So, yes, this man, as I was telling, works at a hotel. This happened in an area called Chadar Ghat. He was trying to cross over to the other side of the road. A set of barricades which had fallen around an open manhole. It's not even a pothole. In fact, it's a big manhole with open electrical lines, according to the locals there. What he tried to do is, he tried to put the barricades in place. And while he was trying to do that, there was a speeding car which crushes him to death. And in fact, he dies. He falls on the spot immediately. Locals take him to the hospital, but by then it was too late. Now, Chadar Ghat, for those who are not from Hyderabad, for context, is a really busy area, in fact, and an area which is prone to flooding. And Hyderabad, for the last 4 days, has been witnessing very heavy to very heavy rainfall in several areas of the city. And in Chadar Ghat, there is intense waterlogging that has also happened because of the heavy rainfall. And that's why, because of the water, there have been multiple cracks on the road. And this is one such manhole which propped up. In fact, this was in place from a long time. But what local police says is that the situation aggravated because of the rains exposing the status of poor roads there. And while they were trying to fix the electrical lines, just before this particular individual died, there was an auto which ran into the barricade, as a result of which the barricade completely fell on the road. And while he tried to fix them, he tried to put them back in place, that was the time when he had to unfortunately pay with his life for what essentially would have been the job of either the police or the GHMC.
Swastika, thanks a lot for getting us all those details.